Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for another couple of indie comic reviews. And in these indie comic reviews I'll be reviewing issue 20 of Rogue Sun and also issue 2 of Toxic Summer. I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we return to issue 20, we are back in New Orleans, and of course we have Dylan Bell going up against a punk rock banshee. That's right, a punk rock banshee, to which this character is his villain for this particular issue. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of damage happening there, and he's doing all he can to sort of like preventing other people from getting hurt. And of course we still see his father helping him and still giving advice, because without his father's help he wouldn't have been able to regain control to the Rogue Sun suit once again. As we advance a little bit further into the story, we see the character of Dylan returning to school in New Orleans, and of course we end up meeting a new character, to which we learn that this character is actually a bit of a bounty hunter of sorts. We do actually learn their name towards the end of the story. And last but not least, towards the end, to which we have some more things setting up for some of the upcoming issues. But we also do finally learn the name of the bounty hunter, to which her name is called Spencer Niesman, which is actually a very interesting name. Of course, we do see the return of Brock, Ori, as well as a couple of other people. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. So first things first, considering how far we are, do we have any comic references to any of the previous issues? The answer is no, we don't. Next is the location, to which we actually get to see everything is still taking place in New Orleans. But we also end up seeing some of the characters pass an art room as well as another room. Next is the cast of characters, to which we have Dylan Bell, who is the Rogue Sun. We have the punk rock banshee, to which we haven't quite learned who that character's real alias is or real name is. Of course, we have Ori and Brock. There is one other character that I did write down, but my writing is so terrible that I cannot read it. In regards to that character's name, of course. And last but not least, the character of Spencer Niesman, who we learn is a bounty hunter looking for bounties that they can capture. I reckon if they deliver the character of the story of the bounty hunter quite well, they might be able to do a really good spin-off series coming out of Rogue Sun. But for the overall rating for the story, I give a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Toxic Summer. So as we continue to move into the next issue of Toxic Summer, I don't know if I'll be around to review the third issue. Personally, I'd really like that to happen, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because of how terrible the system is here in Australia, in a lot of areas. But let's move to the main topic, and that is the issue of the comic. So first things first is, does the cover connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence, it sort of is, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So as we start to move into the area of the beginning of the story, we have Leo and Ben trying to run away from some monsters that they've seen at this particular beach. and in the process they end up grabbing someone's daughter, who is basically someone they sort of saved from the rampage at the beach. So as the story advances, we do end up meeting the character's father, so the female character's father in the story, and he decides to sort of like head out with them and to take on some of these particular monsters or mutant things that have turned up on the beach, along with Leo and Ben. And he also suggests that there may actually be a curse on the beach. Before just moving on to the end, as we start to move towards the end of the story, we see, I think it's the character of Ben trying to talk with someone that he knows that lives in the area, only for things to get a little bit crazy before the next issue. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. First things first, do we get anything in regards to time-wise? No, we don't. Next is the area of location. It would have been nice if they actually gave us the main location name again of where this was taking place. But apart from that, does it take away from the main story? Not so much. We do end up passing by the Shark Bite Diner again, so we get to see the characters go past there. And last but not least, the returning characters from the first issue, Leo and Ben. For the overall story rating, a 7 out of 10. One thing I do sort of like about this story is that there's not too many characters in the story. And that's why I'm sticking with giving it a 7 right now. And it's really easy to follow through as to what's happening with some of the characters, what they're trying to set out story-wise, and also some of the nasty beasties that have actually turned up. Do we get the name of all the beasties? No, but you know what? I reckon it would be nice if they end up maybe putting maybe a small source book out in relation to this series, and maybe continue this series later on. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.